Yo, what's up? This is episode 12, and we have Josh Heine. Josh Heine suffered a serious injury from a car wreck, and he is now a recovering quadriplegic. In this episode, you hear his story, what he did after his injury, what he's working on, like being a model, wheelchair racing, Tinder, and other stuff. So tune in.
5.5 years ago, I was shot multiple times, and I was diagnosed with a spinal cord injury. Well, at that moment, I didn't know how drastic my life was about to change. And it didn't change for the worse, but it changed for the better.
Actually, I was talking with my palliative care doctor today, and she turned around to me and she looked at me and she was like, do you think that if you keep on doing all these things that we don't expect you to be able to complete, that you'll eventually beat this? And I was blown away by a doctor asking me that question. And I was sort of like, actually, yeah, that's probably what I'm trying to do.
Well, I know what my body's going to do to me. I've got a wheelchair in my future. But you know what I've been looking for?
What's that?
One with off-road wheels.
No, nothing will ever take away the pain of my daughter not being here. She will be 18 next month. And it still feels like maybe 5 years ago, 2 years ago that she died. That's my reality.
If you could go back to that day, February 18, 1990, and change what happened, my honest answer is I wouldn't change it, because if I didn't get hurt that day, I wouldn't be in front of that school. I wouldn't be in front of the schools in the upcoming weeks, or I wouldn't be talking with you, or I wouldn't be at Children's Hospital on staff there. This was just my journey, and it's given me an opportunity to have a profound impact on a lot of people and inspire and change lives.
You can expect a life to kick you in the teeth and knock you on the floor, but you always get back up no matter what, and you just keep going.
Living Adaptive with Scott Davidson, a podcast about learning to live adaptively. And now, Scott Davidson.
All right, so I'm excited. We got Josh Heine on today. I'm really excited to share Josh's story. I'm really excited for you guys to hear more about what he has going on. But before we jump into that, people, I want you to go to livingadaptive.com. There you're going to find previous episodes, social media links, where you can find more about us, blog posts, all kinds of stuff like that. Head over there. I also want to say thank you to those hitting me up on social media, especially telling me who to interview, giving me suggestions in general. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the kind comments too. I'm trying to reach out to those people you suggest to interview, and you know what? They're saying yes. So we're going to get them on. It's been really successful, so I appreciate it. Also, Happy New Year. I hope your New Year is good. My New Year's been kind of crazy. Got the flu, all that kind of stuff. So my voice is gone. I'm now recovered, but my voice is still gone. So you got to bear with people and just deal with it, right? We just got to take it as it goes and adapt to it. Also, before we jump into it, let me give you some background information on Josh, especially how about where you can find Josh. And before you can find him, you got to know how to spell his last name. Heine is Heine. You can find him at Heine Wheelchair Racing. He does do the racing thing. Instagram, magic_didit. And then you can find him at ridequickie.com, Josh Heine. There you're going to find a whole bunch about his story, a lot of perspectives going on there. It's pretty awesome. So who is Josh Heine? Who is this person that we're going to interview? And what are we going to take from it? Well, you're going to take a bunch from it. Josh is, he had a terrible car wreck when he was 18 years old, altered everything, crushed his vertebrae C5 and 6, amongst a bunch of other injuries. He was diagnosed quadriplegic with little chance of ever being able to wheel himself around. However, Josh defied those scientific odds. And now he thrives as a quadriplegic who is capable of walking for limited distances and doing a whole bunch of other stuff like racing. Josh is all over the place. He travels the country, spreads his infectious attitude. He motivates others. He's a really incredible person. Josh is also a model. He's got this whole model thing going on. He's living the dream, He's a motivational speaker, an advocate. He does a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, let me stop right there and just roll the interview. What's up, Josh? Let's get this going, and thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, what's up, man? Absolutely.
So
Love it.
Awesome. Before we get into this, I want to say I was on your social media sites, and I got to say you're living a good life. I mean, what the hell? You look like you're a model now. You're doing the whole thing. A girl that was watching the video with me. Yes, I'm married, but I'm there. You know, there's other people in the household watching, and they said you've got like the David Beckham thing going, and all that stuff. So life's good for you right now, for sure, right?
Man, that just kind of like just fell in my lap. Like I remember one day I was scrolling through Facebook like any ordinary American does, and I see this thing and it's like model, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. What do I got to lose? I'm gonna enter. And all they wanted was an Instagram account. And like a week later, I get an email, and I'm like, no effing way. And then whenever they told me what I was gonna get, I was like, oh, I was just like, I was like, God, thank you, God. Like, and that was it. And that like boosted my spirit so hard that I just wanted to do more. So
you know, they didn't just want
social media definitely blessed me.
Yeah, but they didn't want just an Instagram account. They needed like a pretty boy thing going on with the tats and everything. Speaking of which, you got tats everywhere. And I said to my wife, I'm like, I need to get those. They look good. I'm like, I want to get some. Did you? Yeah. You have a collection. Any meanings behind them?
I think the word they used for me was edgy. The tats, but every single one of my tattoos have meanings because I really thought about them. Because I was like, man, okay, yeah, these are going to be on you forever. Like, I'm not just going to be like, oh, that's cool, put that on me. I really wanted to think. And if I actually could have went back in time, I would have planned it all out meticulously, way more, to mix and match together. But
sure.
A lot of mine are just based on experiences that I had during that year or that month, something like that.
I used to not be so much of a fan of neck tattoos. It looks really freaking good, man. That looks great.
It hurt like a bitch.
I bet it looks tough though, for sure. It looks awesome. So I was jealous. I was like, I probably need to do something. And my wife was like, maybe. I don't know if you can pull it off like that though. So she's she's kind of mean like that. But no, she was like, yeah, go for it. Whatever you want to do. And so, I was also thinking, well, we were on a line. We're like, this kid was probably like the man in college. I know you went to like, Western Kentucky or something. So
community college.
Yeah. So we were like, he's probably living a dream, having a good life. So, so you're in a serious relationship now, which I got to bring into this a little bit. She's a news reporter, and this is a little bit intimidating because you got a pro in the household.
That's how we met. That's how we met. I mean, it's a crazy story. So
that's an odd story. I heard just briefly when I got a link off here. I'm like, that doesn't happen. Did she pick you up first, or did you go after her?
What happened was, man, one of my good friends who ran a GoFundMe for me that actually got me a racing chair. He was talking about this new pretty reporter that was in town, and I was like, no, pretty reporter. And then he pitches the story to her, and she wants to do the story, so we go meet, and I'm completely professional, very respectful. And then not 3 weeks later, I'm on Tinder, and there she is, and I'm like, that can't be.
Are you?
That can't be. And she swiped, so I swiped, and then we started talking. And then 2 weeks later, after that, I run into her on the side of the road. I was out rolling training for a marathon. We live a quarter mile apart.
Yeah.
Like I swear, like I'm not making this up. And then it just took off from there, dude. We started hanging out, and
I can't grasp that because reporters are often really pretty, and your buddy's like, there's a new pretty reporter in town, and then it ends up that you guys come together. It's a pretty sweet story.
It's a fairy tale, man. It's a fairy tale, and I love her to death.
Can you win an argument with her? Because, I mean, they do have the gift of
She is good at it.
Yeah, I bet.
She is good.
I bet.
Oh, man. It's fun, though. We'll get in great conversations. I love it.
Yeah, I saw some of a little bit of you guys' lifestyle, in the house, hanging out, just doing your thing, traveling, whatever it is. And, the story's great. It's a great story, man. I mean, how many people hook up with the reporter, that they're in?
I know, man. Like, it was just, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, pretty awesome story. So we're like, this kid's kind of living a dream. I mean, he's got it,
Thank you.
Yeah, modeling, doing everything. But you went through a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of us have been through a bunch of stuff, but you've been through a bunch of stuff too. Your stories are pretty awesome. You're in a lot of realms right now. You're working in a lot of realms. And so just to get before kind of dive into your life a little bit early on. Well, you've grown up in Paducah, Kentucky, right?
Yep, all my life.
Were you a crazy kid? Were you a good kid? What were you?
I was that kid that would hang out with the bad crowd, but their parents would love him because I looked like a proper kid. Is that a group?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But you were the bad influence.
Oh, she's okay. But I was basically, sometimes I would be that bad influence.
Yeah. I got the vibe a little bit. And so, in high school, you seemed like, you knew you had direction because prior to your auto accident, you were going to go to the Navy, right? Do that.
Well, I had an older brother. He was about it. And I was like, you know what, big brother, let's go. Let's follow his footsteps.
Yeah.
And he was like, he told me, Josh, see the world. And then he told me that. And I was like, wow, you're right. Let's go do it.
I used to live by the Naval Academy, and I was always jealous of their adventures. They're traveling, doing everything. So
yeah,
it would be nice, and they don't have to worry about the finances of getting out, but they'd have to worry about a bunch of other stuff.
Exactly, paid for.
Yeah, for sure. And so I did hear a little bit about that part of your life, and then the accident happens. This is like 2007. You're 18 years old.
Yeah.
You tell it very well. Can you tell a story? I know you've told it a million times, but you tell it well.
Like, it was just crazy. I was this crazy kid, and I had direction, but I still just didn't care. I had a problem with authority.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't listen to nobody. And even my own brother, I wouldn't listen to him. And then, my girlfriend that I had for, 3 years. So I was a young kid going up to 18, was pregnant. I was expecting a baby, and I was like, I got to get money because her dad was about money, and I wanted to do right by him and by her and by, the son. So I was like, the Navy will be guaranteed money. And I remember literally it was the morning of going to see this ultrasound of this kid. The first time I'd ever see Brody. And I get in the car, and my dad leaves early, and the car's sitting there, and I'm like, I shouldn't drive it. I literally pondered it, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to drive it. Just this one time, I'll drive it one time. And I bust the left out of my neighborhood and go down this road, and then I just floor it when I hit this road. And then this is like a quarter mile from my house, and I just lost control. And all I remember was I was flying through the air, and it just felt like I got nailed by a linebacker, and just the breath from my whole soul was gone, and I was just fighting to breathe.
Damn.
Fighting to breathe. Trying to look around, trying to see if anyone saw me. It was wild, dude.
Do you like when you recall this part of the story? Can you see it still? Can you actually see
vividly.
it? Oh, that's crazy.
I never got knocked out. So
yeah, I knew you flew some ridiculous amount of footage too into a ditch.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it was 25 feet, and I'm laying on the grass. And I'm like, get up, Josh, you're fine, get up. And I try to push up, and I couldn't even push up. I couldn't even move my arms. It was just surreal.
Did
and
you know?
I could smell antifreeze and gas.
Oh shit!
And I knew I was hurt, but I was worried if the car was going to roll on me. So I tried to get up. And next thing I know, I hear this lady screaming, "Oh my God, they're coming! Don't move!" And literally, the first responder was someone I knew. I live in a small town. He was a fireman, and he goes, oh shit, Josh. And I go, Wes, you can't let me die here.
Holy shit! And Wes was like, that's crazy. I didn't know it was a friend.
He saved my neck, and he pulled me out into 6 inches of water. I was literally drowning in. So he at least got my neck stabilized, so I wouldn't move it anymore. But he was there in minutes, 6, 7 minutes. It was nuts how fast it was.
Did you have a concept of the time?
No, absolutely not. No way.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
All I was focusing on was not going to sleep.
Did you know not to go to sleep?
He said days, numbers. So I was going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wow. And that's freaking nuts, man. It was
wild.
Yeah, that's a crazy accident story. And Dave, how long were you at the scene? You know, he's there, everybody's there before you're actually getting
you'd
out
have
here.
to talk. You'd really have to talk to him, but it couldn't have been over, 20 minutes, because I remember in the ambulance, they were sticking me with these needles, and they were still keeping me conscious because I didn't have to get trached, and most quads have to get trached.
Yeah,
I regained my breathing. I don't know how, but all of a sudden I just could breathe, and I just don't know how. Maybe I was just focusing on my breath, but I didn't have to get trached.
Whoa, wow. And I don't. At that point, if I recall your story right, you didn't know the extent of injuries or what it was going to be.
No way. And the thing is like my dad was an hour away. My mom was in Boston, Massachusetts. My brother's in Louisville, and my sister is at school. God love my sister. So my uncle Tori, who is an oral surgeon, so he's a doctor, he was the first one there. And whenever I get to the hospital, it's very, very hazy. I don't remember what he was telling me. But then once my father did arrive, and he came in, and I was like, Dad, straight facts, give me facts. What's happening? And he's like, you have a broken neck, you are paralyzed. You have 6 other broken injuries, and the option is either we fix you now or we life flight you to Vanderbilt. And my dad said, fix him now. So we went with that.
It turned out good, though, if you think about it. I mean, you've got a lot of movement now.
It was a risk, man. No, it was a risk. I could have died.
I know you have medical people in your family. I do recall the oral surgeon. Your mom's a nurse, too. That's good that was there in your court, for sure.
My dad worked in the medical field 20 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know your dad did, too.
Yeah, he was an electrical engineer. He fixed the MRIs, CAT scans. He knew he was just, intertwined in that network, in the hospital network.
What? Oh, no, it's fine. What were your surgery was same day of injury?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was under the knife 2 hours post injury.
Whoa, that's quick. And then, and was it neurosurgeon that went in?
Yeah, Dr. Basim Hadi and probably 16 other personnel.
Crazy. 16? Holy.
Yeah, then, 12 to 14 hour surgery. My mother was in Boston, and whenever I woke up, she was in front of me, dude.
Wow. Yeah, that's an extensive surgery. Yeah, I mean, those long surgeries, those are so freaking risky from what I understand.
Oh, I was a kid. I had no idea.
And then, so when you...
I listened to my dad, so...
I remember a surgery I had, and do you remember any of your surgery?
I remember that one, and then I had one on my collarbone whenever I was a kid. I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember.
But I've been under the knife a lot.
Yeah, I've had a few times too. It's not fun. Yeah. You just went under the knife again.
I did. Yeah, I had a little sports injury. Yeah, elbow.
So after this, when did you realize that, hey, we're facing recovery from paralysis? Really? I mean, you're going to be quadriplegic. When did you realize that your dad told you broke your neck, but when did you realize where it was? After the surgery.
I remember this one moment before surgery. They were poking me, or no, they went to insert a catheter in me without telling me, and I screamed bloody murder, saying, "Get that away! I can feel that." Nice, and they're like, "You can feel that?" And then Dr. Heady looked, and he's like, "No, we got to go now." So
that's the best pain on earth.
I don't know, but yeah, I guess and then I woke up. And it was probably 2 days I go to, get a drink, and I can't even move my arm, dude. That's when I was like, oh shit, dude, I have hurt myself. You know, I have fucked up. Yeah,
that's got to be so frightening. I hear these stories a lot, and when it sets in. Now, one thing, I don't know if you heard Aaron Baker's interview, but I love what his mom said.
Dude, I watched his film.
He's the best. He's
amazing man, dude.
Yeah.
Love to meet him.
You should meet him. You guys are like brothers in this, And so you guys have like very similar perspectives and stuff. And I love how his mom said, stop paying attention to what you call the probabilities of doctors and focus on the possibilities. Were your doctors more positive in input? Like they gave you a better chance of, regaining stuff, or were they more negative about it?
They were straight shooters, but I demanded straight shots. I didn't want this probably. I didn't want percentages. I wanted yes or no. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
Yeah, I get that. You don't want
to. But they said 48 hours. If you don't have any movement, you're not supposed to see anymore after that. And they told me that, and I remember I was like, oh shit, man, I can't even move my arms. But then I remember, like a week goes by, maybe a week, and my Dr. Hine, Don Hine, comes in, visits me, and he takes a pin out and he grazes it down my foot, and my foot jumps, and I'm like, whoa, what you do? And he's like, I hit a reflex thing, and then after that, I was able to move my toe a little bit.
Whoa.
And then I would think about this toe. I'd be like, leg, ankle, and then I could lift my ankle up. Dude, it was mind games, crazy.
Yeah, but that's such a positive experience.
Yeah, it's hopeful.
Yeah, for sure. Especially after that 48 hours talk. I don't totally agree with it.
I don't either. Not now.
No, definitely not now. Not where you're at now. No freaking way, for sure. Yeah. So, I don't know, that whole surgery story, that was really hard to read, especially your mom's input. In fact, she's what's that site she's on?
She's a good writer.
Yeah, it's on where is it? Ride Quickie.
Ride Quickie.
Yeah, ridequickie.com, and you can just put ridequickie.com and in a search engine and put Josh. That's all you really need to do, not just Josh Hine.
Yeah.
And it will pop up, and there's like a 3-part. That 3-part, just saying for the listeners, really good perspective of a family member observing what's happening, feeling the effects. She seems like she was huge in her court, man.
She was my rock.
And did you go right to the parents' house, right back home for rehab after rehab?
She never let me go home from the hospital. I demanded, and she didn't. They sent me straight to Atlanta from ICU.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a plane, and I said, "Let me go home one day." She's like, "Josh, no, you can't go back. You gotta go forward."
That's so good.
So I did.
That's so good, that perspective, for sure. I don't know, that 3-part series though. It's I've read a lot of stuff, and that one was so good. It's definitely, I don't know, if somebody's going through something like this, a traumatic injury or whatever, whatever you're going through, I think this is a really good perspective on how to handle things and what it feels like. It's really enlightening. So when you had the diagnosis, of, hey, we're going to now recover from something pretty significant. I don't want to say like, you're going to be quadriplegic. I don't want to say diagnosis of that, because I feel like people recover, they recover to an extent and so forth. I want a more positive spin on it. But like, when you had that, what happened to your life afterwards? Did your friends rally around you? Did your family rally around you, or?
My family rallied around me, and the friends, the good ones stayed, the bad ones, whatever, they left, or the ones that weren't there. But that's okay.
Yeah.
But my friends were so supportive. Even now, they just think they act like there's nothing wrong with me. They're just so equipped and adapted. It's amazing.
Yeah, it seemed like you were so young when this happened, and I saw the story of you living with roommates, and you had a kid too, Brody. Brody came along too, right? I mean,
I'd have to go to my mom's apartment to see him. So
yeah, I got you. And so but I mean, you had so much going on, but you lived a normal life too after the injury. I mean, you went right at it, like you said. When I say normal,
I had no choice. I had no choice. My parents got a divorce, and my dad sold his house, so I was thrown into the world. There was
a lot of trauma. You go into your dad passes away. Well, actually, I want to go a little bit in front of that, where you said after you had the injury, if I could read this, you said, I almost took my own life. That was the only time I ever contemplated that, where I just told myself I wish I'd died. Time. Well, a lot of people do it. I mean, I've considered stuff like that during the hard moments, and I think it's a super normal reaction to anything tough, whether physical or mental. But you were definitely in those dark zones, and then it broke my heart to see your dad passed, away. And that was tough. That was a tough listen, because I could feel it myself. But I do feel like you paid tribute to him. That felt like the 180. I don't know, not a one, whatever you want to call it, where you just turned it on.
Silver lining.
Yeah, you turned it on, man. It seemed like from the story.
I quit throwing myself these pity parties. I just quit.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like you were partying too and doing that type of thing. And then that was it. Is that what
going
drove
out to the
you?
bars? Man, fear was probably the biggest motivator.
Yeah.
You know, that I was going to amount to nothing, that I was going to just be okay with going on a straight, line. I was just afraid to go, back, or I don't know, dude. I was scared.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to do better by myself.
Yeah, I do a lot of things. Fear motivates me too. Fear to disappoint my wife, fear to disappoint whoever, and stuff like that. You want to
family,
I get that, man. I get
that.
I
got an older brother that's an operator, and I got a younger brother that, was an airman and did 2 tours. It's, I want to be like them.
What was the dynamic at home? You got too many boys in the house, too many testosterone-filled boys.
Well, brother-in-law, I should say.
Yeah.
But I had an older brother and a younger sister. I was the middle child.
Yeah. I bet that older brother gave it to you, though. Military guy,
Oh, man, dude. He teased me. He did. But he loves me now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a tight unit going on that, I don't know, what you rallied around and so forth. All right. So I always also wondered, okay, after the injury, before the injury, you were on your way to being a dad, and you're a dad now and so forth. And you're probably with your girlfriend. Yeah. Of course, it's, you split or whatever. How was dating life afterwards?
Did. Oh, man, dude. It was a shit show, but because I'm from a small town, and I didn't even know, I couldn't even love myself, I was like, and I went through all these years of just, I could meet girls, and that wasn't a problem, and girls didn't mind the wheelchair at all. I met some wonderful women, but I just, in the end, I couldn't love them like they were trying to love me, because I couldn't even love myself yet. And that took some time, How
many years did you beat on yourself?
Like 5, 6.
Yeah.
Wasted years, man.
What was it? Was it the passing of your dad? What was it where how did you even learn how did you learn to actually, show yourself some compassion?
Whenever I did that first race and I finished it, then I was like, I can do this.
Were you always in shape?
And then I kind of, but like, I remember the first couple of times I did it, I couldn't even go up these hills. I couldn't deal with the heat. And then, I would have to bring so much water. And then I started getting better and better and better. And then I was like, all right, there is a way up. So, and then whenever I started making my body better, things started happening better in my social life. And I was like, well, shit, I got to keep going now.
Yeah, for sure, man. That always helps.
Harder than ever. Yeah.
Yeah, just so people know, you have like 0.1% body fat, at least in the last race video.
Skinny,
you're ripped, man.
6'1". You can see my muscles.
Yeah, you're freaking ripped. I'm jealous. I need to get out there and get cardio going or something. But
cardio is where it's at. That's
for sure.
My go-to.
For sure. Yeah, you're always racing. Speaking of racing, you have a race team, don't you?
Me and one local wheelchair guys started a little nonprofit here that we've been going out and doing races together. We're still looking for donors, of course, but we like to just see if we can get people to get up there and race. We'll pay their race fees and stuff, the registration fees.
I think
see if they want to do it.
I think the awareness is there, though. I mean, in one of your race
photos, awareness, basically.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I've seen one of your races, and I've seen photos on your accounts and so forth of you out there and racing, and I can definitely see it's building a bunch of awareness of not just spinal cord.
People just think, look at this bike I'm sitting in. I get all sorts of legs.
How often do you get to? Sorry, go ahead. I'll finish the next one. Go ahead.
You go out there and you'll just be in a sea of runners, and they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Just you watch. You just wait."
I think
when the start bell goes off,
I think they realize they're going to get beat. It's not like you don't look. Yeah, they know.
Some of them are like, "Dang," because once you get it up to speed, you can keep it there. And that's as fast as you can probably, keep a heavy jog. So even a sprint if the road is flat.
You got to run them down the wind though if they're not moving.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say. I do. How often do you get a chance to get out there? Spinal cord injuries are up a ton, like a ridiculous amount, triple. Jessie Strawham said, Wheel With Me Foundation, she gave some stat, and I could be totally wrong when I say it right now, but something like triple the rate it was, maybe 5 years ago. I'm just throwing out that years. There's a ton of spinal cord injuries out there. Maybe it's texting while driving, whatever it is, it could be that, it could be sports, whatever. Do you get a chance to now talk to people that have gone through it?
Oh man, I've met so many people. Just even the quickie modeling thing, I got to meet, so many people. That network some more people. A lot of them are social media based friendships.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a handful that I've met in person that are just great, just to know people. Even here in my local town, social media is just a way to connect. I'm in a group,
sure.
With 10,000 people.
Yeah, when I was in the last interview with Aaron Baker, he came out and he had like a book. That's what he had after a spinal cord injury. Yeah. It's freaking nuts, man. A book. That's it. I'm like, I was there. I'm part of Aaron's generation. We're like the same age. And, with my stuff, I have mobility issues, ton of that, tons of surgery and stuff like that. And I don't, it was like down the books or just guesswork. You didn't know. And so, but nowadays with social media, there is a huge network of telling you, hey, it could get better. It could do this. And there is research out there. I think there's a more positive vibe. Yeah. And then also everybody loves company of somebody in the same experience. And so that's cool for sure.
I would always, I just wish I lived in a bigger city, get a rolling group together.
Yeah. I'm out here in Vegas and there is a big group. In fact, they have tons of, wheelchair athletes out here and
it's flat.
Yeah. It's flat. And then on top of that, we don't have the cold weather you're experiencing today.
Nope. Yeah. Exactly.
I lived in cold weather. I can't do it, man. It's so rough.
It stinks.
Hurts the body, man.
It stinks, especially when it's like in the singles.
It's hard though when your family's in one spot. I totally get it. You don't want to, you love your family. You don't want to bail, but at the same time, you're like, wow, that's a great life. Like December, it's 70 here. This is great.
Oh, you're right.
It is. It's a good deal. So, I knew at some point, I was going to have to hit the warmer climates. So eventually I made the jump and,
I think it may happen soon for me, hopefully.
Well, you never know your girlfriend.
Who knows?
Yeah. Your girlfriend.
Who knows,
She could get the San Diego job like Anchorman and,
yeah,
move out there. And, that'd be sick. Actually, that's a great area. So,
yeah. Oh, my brother lived there. He's stationed there.
Are you serious? That's like the best.
I visited twice.
How do you like? I guess he's over on Coronado Island, that area with the Navy.
No, yeah, he wasn't near. Where did he live? Oh man, I don't know. But yeah, he brought me on base and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty rad out there. Very jealous.
Oh yeah, it is. It's pretty.
Very expensive though. But so you don't just model. Yeah. You don't just model for Quickie though. You're also working with Sunrise Medical too. You distribute for them, and then you put your image out there for them. What do you do with?
Yeah, they just basically printed my face and put it on a whole bunch of ads and magazines, on websites. I think they were running on like Instagram and Facebook. They would just be sponsored posts. I don't know if they're still active now. I'd have to look.
Yeah,
but I think you can still like go on there and look at them on the right Quickie. I'm still on there. The video is at least.
Gotcha.
But as far as that goes, it was just the 2 photo shoots and then the video shoot.
Well, that's a pretty good gig, right?
Yeah, I got a carbon fiber wheelchair.
All right, and then I have a ton of questions. On a serious note, I always wonder this: is there anything you wish others knew when it came to approaching you after the accident in terms of like maybe a particular way to be supportive? Because a lot of you people that have had significant injuries where you don't want to be pitied, you're tougher than most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that the case?
No, it's when people point it out right away, you're like, man, why you gotta point it out? Like, I know it wrong. I know I'm sitting down. Why don't you just say, hey, guy, That's the only thing. But
Dude,
I don't know.
it's the worst, right?
I just try to go with the flow most of the time. Whenever I know someone's wrong, then I'll try to educate. But most of the time, it always turns vindictive and volatile, and I don't want that. So most of the time, I just shut my mouth.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, since day one, my ankles have been like the skinniest things ever from surgery, killing the tissue, stuff like that. And like I wear a pair of shorts and they'll point, and I'm like, man, why? Why is that the first thing?
I know. I get it. It rolls.
Yeah. It's crazy. So yeah.
And people will like go out of their way to open the door, and like it's just I don't even try anymore. There's no point in me to ever even try to open a door ever.
Yeah, it's awkward for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so jumping into this, so you have all this wheelchair racing going on, you have all this stuff going on. I wonder what's the key, Josh? Like, what is the key? What is the key to someone going through so much traumatic stuff? You know what I mean? It's not just an accident. After that, you've got to deal with piecing it together, going through surgeries, and people don't understand, like afterwards, after, just because something is finished, a surgery's finished, the body breaks down, and then we have to rely on different ways to do different stuff, and other things could break down at the same time. And there's just always some sort of thing on the plate, some sort of strife. But what was the key to get you to the point that you're thriving now? You're doing well now. You're having good attitude when it gets tough, and not just, but I mean, you're really doing things. You're out there doing stuff. What was the key to get you to that point?
Man, it's so simple, man. In my perspective, I would just set goals. Whether it be little or tiny, it wouldn't even matter. Like anything, then you would be like, I did that. Check. I did something. And even if it would come to life, come to racing, come to being time management, I mean, just set yourself goals and then push towards those goals. And I always say, don't go back, go forward. Never go back. Always go forward. Don't go, I'll just do it, or say, I'll just eat like one cupcake today, don't, or I'll drink a soda. No, don't go forward. Don't go backwards.
Shoot, I've been going backwards all day. I'm pretty skinny, but like at the same time, I've been eating like hell for the holidays. But you're right. What's been the biggest hiccup or speed bump in your recovery process?
Probably right now, I just had some minor surgery. It's just trying to keep my head strong. It's a mental game right now, and focusing, because what I hurt a tiny tendon, so it's crazy. Like a little thing can cause so much in pain. So I just got to say, all right, it will get better. It will get better. And I just focus on exercises, and I just try my hardest to make it better.
Injuries are the worst.
And they are, and it's hard sitting around doing nothing, because whenever I go out and roll, that is my out. That is my outlet. It's liberating. I like it.
What do you do when you're like, you can't roll right now?
No, I can't right now. I just don't want to push it. I don't want to, go through all that pain and hurt it, So I'm hoping to be good by the end of February, but I'm going to physical therapy twice a week. So
I get that. That's the worst. Injuries are like the worst setback ever. And like you're just sitting there waiting for it to get better. But in the scope of things,
it's the worst.
I'm older than you. In the scope of things, it's like those injuries, those points where you can't do what you want to do, they do fade, and you're like, man, I made a big deal out of something that eventually was going to be all right. But it's the worst because your gains or whatever you're doing, if it's something physical in the gym and you start to lose those afterwards, you're like, crap. You look in the mirror and you're like, oh no, it's going, it's not that bad though. Come on. And, what about so the mental game? I agree. Mental game's the worst by far. Mental game's the worst.
Yeah.
And then you start to have catastrophic thoughts all the time.
Yeah, that's bad. You never want to back yourself in a corner.
No.
You have someone to talk to. I recommend talking, even if it's like a log. Just don't let it stew up there.
Yeah. No, I recommend always, whether it's professional or friends, community, whatever it is.
Anything. Facebook, do what you got to do. Just don't let it stew.
No, for sure not, man. Definitely not. What do you, what's your what's your goals? I know you have this nonprofit, but what's your goals? And is it to build this? My
my goals for the future is to either work. I want to work in the wheelchair industry, definitely not as a model. The model was cool. I want to be the guy you come to help you find a chair that's right for you.
Yep.
And I think I would be awesome at that.
For sure.
No, will be. And that's what I'm working towards. So.
Well, you're young enough. You could ride the modeling thing for a while.
Well, right? I ain't no Giselle.
Yeah. She's got the long game, right? She's for the long. But do you do like any mental training stuff like that? A lot of people meditate, do things like.
I've never tried meditate. I play video games. That takes my mind off of stuff. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it does.
It is there's a group, I think it's out of Johns, that they're researching, PTSD for soldiers or traumatic brain injuries and just hurrying up and integrating some sort of puzzle video game like Tetris or something afterwards to process the trauma. And it's shown some success, but I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, I don't know, it worked for me, cause I played a lot of video games growing up and
yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's but I mean it's a pretty cool perspective on or approach to it. So, with that, so what about your son? How's your son handle day-to-day life? Like when you guys are around each other, you travel together, you do things together. Your son's now getting to the age that he's more aware. If I recall, he's like somewhere around 7.
He's 9.
Oh, he's 9. Okay,
he's 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely aware of everything. Is he cool? Are you guys like?
Yeah, man. He's the coolest little dude ever, man. He doesn't even act like nothing's different. Sometimes he'll just say, "Yeah, Dad's in a wheelchair" to random people, but that's it. But he'll help me put it together. He'll help me walk from like the door because I'm able to walk, somewhat, and he can be my little walking post. Yeah,
I see you standing a lot. In photos and stuff, you do definitely have way more than what they were telling you after 48 hours.
Oh yeah, like my prognosis is definitely wrong from what they told me.
It's so wild to think how many people have had those difficult diagnoses. Yeah, for sure. I don't know what it is. Why such a negative outlook on those situations? It's like they want to give you the worst news, and we don't even know. Yeah. We don't even know. So where it's gonna go. For sure. It's, I don't know. What about, all right, I always ask this, what kind of tools do you use? Like what kind of tools do you use to, continue to hit these goals, continue to hit the strides? Do you have like a book you turn to? Do you have, like a group you turn to? What are the things that you, integrate in your life to make you successful?
I'm not a big reader, but I really just focus on keeping my body straight, as long as I'm on top of that. And, I keep that going. And I've read Tom Brady's book about his muscle pliability concept is pretty nuts. I recommend the book. It's just, you gotta just retrain them muscles, retrain them. So I'm always trying to perfect things. And that usually,
I didn't even know about
like
that.
I said, don't go back, go for it,
Yeah, I didn't even know about his book. That's out there.
Yeah, he's got a book.
Yeah, I had no idea. There's I like Aaron Baker's approach though. When we're talking, he's just fresh on my mind. But like with his gym, that core gym that he has.
He's got a sweet gym. Yeah. I mean, I have a gym, but I don't have the sweet equipment he probably got.
It's pretty amazing. I was actually going to float out there randomly, but I didn't get a chance. So we'll get out there. My wife wants to see it too. She's a nurse. She works with a lot of amputees, and she.
I get in the hot tub a lot. That's what I do. That I decompress there. That's like my go-to spot.
Yeah, for sure. That's like the best.
I soak in there like 20, 30 minutes.
I used to hate heat, and now I just need it all the time.
I need it, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how you stay in the cold weather. I mean, I know why, but it's just rough. I mean, growing up in cold weather, it's just too much. So
yeah,
for sure. So, but where like. If people are going to reach you, you're all on Instagram, you're on Facebook, right? And you have a website. Everything. Where can they reach you?
Yeah. Facebook would be the best. Josh Heine, Heine, or Instagram. I don't know the exact tag of that thing.
I think it's magic_did it.
_did it, yeah. Something easy. That's my gamer tag. It's magic did it.
I was going to say, where'd that come from? Yeah, so it's a gamer tag.
I got Xbox Live the day it came out. I don't know when that was. It was forever ago. And it said create a gamer tag, and I was like, all right. So I picked Oh No, It's Magic, and it wasn't taken, and I got it.
Yeah.
And I had that one forever, and I lost it. So and then it became Magic did it.
Yeah. Can people game with you if they want to that are listening?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's absolutely Xbox One. It's Magic did it, spelled the way you would spell it.
I would love it if somebody got on and it's like
yeah, dude. I play with one hand. I'm a quadriplegic.
Yeah.
I don't have any movement in the left side of my hand, but I do on the right. But it's still pretty good to play.
Do you still you have no movement on it, but I felt like you were talking about how there's some left movement or something recently, something?
Yeah, I can hold stuff. You know, I put it in my hand. I can hold it, but since I had that injury, I was able to regain a lot of little motor function with my left hand since I was using it so much.
Yeah. Do you ever like worry about? I know I worry about the future. I'm an open book, and I definitely worry about it. Do you worry about the future?
I do. I worry about when I'm old, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. So I'm trying not to fret about it. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm hoping by that time they fix me, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we got to worry about it by then.
Yeah. Do you follow a bunch of research in the realms?
Not really. No, dude. I ain't got to worry about none of that till I see it on, the TV.
That's probably healthier, though. It's just focus on getting.
All right. Yeah, it's me now. This is me.
That's awesome. Well, your story is it's hard to encompass just in, I have these interviews that, are 30 minutes to an hour generally. And it's hard to encompass something so big like this. And I'll put everything in the show notes that I can link up and so forth, and people can reach you. It's a pretty incredible story. I can't wait to see what your
definitely
future.
The Instagram would be the best way to reach me.
For sure. You block people on Instagram though. I noticed not blocked. They have to request to follow you. So it makes it harder, more difficult. I'm like, maybe he has stalkers or something.
I would just get these random follows, like bots or something, and it was driving me crazy. So I did that.
Yeah, I'm just learning Instagram.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go through and unfollow people, and I just I don't want to.
Yeah, I keep weeding it.
I'm lazy.
I can tell when they're like fake, and I kind of just keep it more towards the community and so forth.
But I do check it regularly. So
yeah, when I get messages, they'll sometimes they make me click an extra layer to get through them, so you don't even know you're getting them. And so forth. So I try to get on them, but yeah, it's a weird realm for me, Instagram. I'm still like of the nature of Facebook. So well, that's pretty awesome, man. You have a great story. I don't feel I don't feel like we can encompass it, and you're a stud, man. I can't, the reporter comes to get your story.
It sucks.
But you know what though? On the bright side, I'm getting your story, but I won't try to date you like she did. Right. I can't believe, and then Tinder afterwards. So God bless Tinder.
Dude, that is what I know, right? Thank God for Tinder.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, Tinder's been building families too. It's not just the crazy stuff. Come on.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, come on, man. People will say plenty of fish in Tinder or just for the crazy stuff, for the hookups and stuff. Not true, people. There's families being built. So. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I will put everything out there for us listeners. Thanks, Josh Hine. You're awesome. Your story's great. Thank you. All right. Thanks to Josh Hine for stopping in, telling us this story. You can find Josh Hine at HineWheelchairRacing.com, Instagram at magic_didit, MAGIC_DIDIT, and you can find him at ridequickie.com, Josh Hine. His last name is spelled HEINE. Don't forget, you can find us on livingadaptive.com, Instagram living_adaptive, or Facebook living adaptive. See you next time.